Jennifer Murtazashvili is the Centre for Governance and Markets Director at the University of Pittsburgh, and she joins us now live. Thank you for joining me, Jennifer. They're painting themselves as a new Taliban. They're well-versed in women's rights, inclusivity, peace and prosperity. Can we trust them?
Too early to tell. But one thing that we can tell is they certainly understand what went wrong over the past 20 years. Their messaging is perfectly aligned syncs up with the grievances that the people of Afghanistan have had over the past 20 years. And much of the messaging that we're seeing from them today really recognizes how people have suffered over the past 20 years. So their messaging acknowledges that. The question is, will they deliver on any of it? And will they keep their word?
I mean, it's an intoxicating message, isn't it, for Afghans? You know, you've had a foreign force invading your country for the last 20 years. We were the sitting government before this happened. We're now back and we're going to look at what's gone wrong over the last 20 years and fix it, which is all very well unless you're a woman. How worried do you think women in Afghanistan should be right now?
I think they should be very worried. We know the history. I was talking to a colleague today who said this reminded her of Tehran when the Islamic government took over Tehran. Similar kinds of press conferences, similar proclamations that they would protect women's rights. And we see the results in Iran. What will that look like under Taliban Sharia law? Remains to be, we don't know yet.
What do you think the international community can do now? Because it's very difficult, isn't it, when the government, the new government in Afghanistan says, well, this is our religion. It's slightly tricky, isn't it, for the international community to interfere in what they're saying is a religious matter?
Absolutely. I think the United States and other countries do not have the kind of leverage that they once had. And one of the things I think we cannot discount, however, is that if we look at what's happening inside of Kabul, we see peace. It doesn't seem that people are afraid of suicide bombs, the kind of insecurity that has racked the country over the past 4 decades. And that may be worth the price for some people, may not be worth it for others. It still remains to be seen. It remains to be seen whether the Taliban are going to enforce their will by force. 20 years ago, they used extreme force to enforce Sharia law. Kabul has changed. They have to change. They seem to recognize this in their message, but will this endure? I don't think the international community has a lot of leverage right now, and I think the international community has really discredited itself in the intervention over the past 20 years.
OK, Jennifer Murtazashvili, thank you very much indeed for that.